It's a beautiful Wednesday and we're reaching you from the city of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and this is the Newspaper Review here on Top TV. My name is Williams Abule and with me here on the program is Victor Sioko. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, so good to have you join me once more like every other day. All right, here on the program, if you haven't seen this video before, we bring you headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. So do well to follow us across social media handles. We are on Facebook as Top TV, on Instagram is Top TV_NG, and on Twitter is Tab_NG. So follow us on all of that, all of those platforms. We'll really be glad to have you join us. Here on the program, we expect you to be part of it by participating. Drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We want to hear what your opinion is about the headlines we'll be reading to you shortly. So without wasting time, let's go straight to taking the headlines, and we'll begin today with Politics Now. That's the newspaper we'll start with today. Today being the 14th day in the month of June. Politics Now, we have as headline, 2 weeks after the inauguration, full marks for Mr. President. Breathes fresh air into federal government, tackles nation's challenges. Interesting. We also have as headline here, 10th National Assembly intrigues horse trading as National Assembly elects presiding officers. All right, those are the two major headlines here on Politics Now. Do well to pick up a copy of that paper and read up details. But let's go into our conversations as regards these topics. All right, Victor, 2 weeks of Tinubu's reign as president, and one could actually say that he has really been deliberate and been hitting some of those major issues that Nigerians have been crying about head on. Do you agree with that?
100%. Like the famous Nigerian runner that gave us the phrase, I never expected it. Okay? In this situation, I never expected it. Okay, and mind you, there's something Nigerians have forgotten. We've forgotten that we have a president that is frail. Nobody is talking about that any longer. Nobody's talking about his physique, his health, his strength. Nobody's talking about whether he will travel or not. You've seen a president that has been really focused. You've seen a president that is going head on with the issues. You've also seen a president that has also cautioned his comrades not to speak ill of his opponents. Okay, so he's also finally seen a president that even the PDP, the ones that are not among the G5s, are even coming closer. Yes, some persons will also say, those politicians, those opposing politicians are those anywhere Bele face kind of politicians. Like, for instance, look at Ben Mori Bruce, acknowledging the president, giving him his accolades. Look at Reno Mokri, who is, well, it's quite controversial. Okay, but you see these guys, they are from the opposition side, but they are giving him his accolades. So what are these accolades, if you ask me? Number one for me is the student loans. Some persons are also not will I say confident about that, because back in the days, in the 80s, such loan was there, but what then happened? It was mesmerized. What also happened the early days of this First Republic, there was provision for all this, but what happened? It was, in quote, looted. There were different kind of instruments that they used to make sure that the student loan will work, even in subtle manners. But he has come out and he's showing that he wants to do this. And yes, I was also wondering, why is it that the past president did not even sign on this bill, if you ask me? Okay, because it's a bill that will encourage our youths. Mind you, Nigerians, most Nigerians out there on the street want to go to school, and you can't stop them. Yes, some person will be like, education is a scam, but we also are seeing the fruits of education. Especially when it comes to Nigerians getting the education, getting their tertiary education and leaving the country. Yes, I understand that some person will be like, oh, why did you train you for you to leave? Okay, but if you also check the diaspora contribution that these guys are making to the economy, it's so much. Okay, then what about a situation whereby we have our parents that are overburdened already. You are lifting these burdens off them so that these students can go ahead, access these loans, and make a better living for themselves.
Yeah.
So for the side of the loans, I am very, very appreciative of that. Then if you also look at insecurity, I don't know what happened though, but it has not been the way it was some months ago.
Yeah.
You can see some element of calmness.
Yeah.
So you also be like, was it that politicians used their talks, or were they the ones that perpetrated
behind
these
those
acts?
things, yeah.
What really happened? Well, I think that's for our intelligent persons out there, security experts to deal with.
Yeah.
Now, coming with respect to governance, the fact that he is not wasting time in making sure that everything starts moving. Yes, we understand what happened. I am faulting him with respect to the subsidy removal.
Maybe it was too hasty or something.
It was too hasty, okay? But as you can see, yes, people are really suffering it. I know that the numbers...
No, the cry is still there. A lot of people are still, trying to balance themselves to the new reality, and it's not been easy on the streets. But we've also heard him come out in some of his statements saying that Nigerians should just bear the pain, and that the fruits and the results of the removal will soon be evident. So Nigerians should just endure and be patient. Yeah.
Okay. Then he has also shown a very wonderful skill of managing people. If you see the way he has harmonized other politicians, and look at what happened yesterday in the House, the way he has harmonized everybody, and it's just looking like there's no longer opposition. Okay, but yes, it is not also good when in a government like this nobody is opposing you, nobody is checking out where you are not doing well, and bringing it to the floor, so that everybody knows. So he has done well within these 2 weeks. I just hope that for the next, let's say, 6 months, I know some people will be like, oh, come on, he will not last 6 months. The court
will take him out.
We'll take him out, okay? But as I'm seeing, I will also mention this, that many Nigerians out there too are withdrawing their faith in the court, are also now saying, okay, let's just give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. Okay. So I just hope that in the next 6 months, more especially in terms of FX, okay, and in terms of this fuel issue, let's hope that something better will come out. Yeah,
I totally agree with you that the president has been doing quite a lot to try to gain the confidence of Nigerians. We were talking about security. I remember that that's one of the areas that he focused on once he got into office. He visited most of the major security heads and their commands, and try to improve the confidence of security personnel and assure them he's there to help them. Remember when he said that they should also share information to ensure that they tackle the insecurity around the country pretty fast, and also put it under the barest minimum control. And there's a lot that he's been doing, the arrest of the CBN governor and suspension also, and he also told us how he's going to also do everything within his power to ensure that he puts some kind of normalcy as regards the currency swap and all of that. So yes, within for a moment you would want to think that Tinubu has been in office for over 3 months, but it's just been 2 weeks and a little more, and so much has already happened, so much so. He didn't start well. A lot of Nigerians will say that he didn't start well by first announcing the subsidy removal, but we all know that we all wanted that subsidy removal to happen, but maybe the pattern in which it happened, it didn't really go well with a lot of people, because like I was saying earlier, a lot more people are still trying to balance into the current situation, especially since the new minimum wage has not been announced yet. We know also that is still in the works between the federal government and the labor unions and the TUC, and so we are hoping that in their next meeting something reasonable will come out. We heard the TUC proposed 200,000 naira as the minimum wage. but maybe they will negotiate that, but we hope it ends somewhere that will favor every Nigerian, because it's really a tough time trying to adopt to the new petrol pump price in an economy that is largely dependent on petrol. All right, let's leave that story and move on to our next newspaper headlines, and that will be on Vanguard newspaper for today, the 14th day in the month of June. And on Vanguard here we have as headlines: some Nigerian returnees from Libya came without kidneys, biles. That is NAPTIP. Very interesting revelation there. But that story you'll find on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper, so do well to pick up a copy and read that story. NIN enrollment rises 363.5% to 27.1 million in 3 years. All right, so a lot more people are beginning to embrace, registration of NIN. Remember when this register your NIN or get your NIN registration done came up? Nigeria and drama. It was plenty. But let's move away from that story. Other headlines here, we see Atiku to tribunal. Summon INEC boss as witness. Benue government imposes curfew as communal crisis claims 3 lives in 2 local governments. We find both stories on page 8 and 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. We move on to the main headline on Vanguard. It says, 10th NAS, how Akpabio Abbas floored opponents. Nigerians want us to lift their economic burden, Tinubu tells Akpabio Abbas. Ask NAS to work with him to deliver democracy dividends. Akpabio polls 63 votes to beat Yari, 46 to emerge Senate president. Extends olive branch to Yari. Orders. Abbas polls 353 votes to trounce Washe 3, Yaji 3 for reps speakership. 359 lawmakers elect take oath of office. Barau Kalu emerge unopposed as Deputy Senate President and Deputy Speaker. I shall be just, fair, guided by Constitution. Abbas speaking there. We also see lastly, right under that, NAS gulps 2.618 trillion naira in 25 years. Page 7 is where you get details of that headline, and also on page 5 you find more details on the story about the National Assembly. We're still taking headlines from Vanguard newspaper. We see here, governors ignorant of minimum wage, NLC. Stories on page 8 of the Vanguard. Revenue from VAT CIT falls 18% to 1.18 trillion naira. Page 20 is where you get details. And lastly, I'll take this one. Father, 4 children, 95 dies. Others die in Kwara. Both mishap. Page 6 is where you find details of that story. All right, let's go back to the conversations here, and this time around we're going to the National Assembly. And finally, there is a Senate President in person of former Governor God's Will Akpabio, and he won with a very good margin, showing the full support of his fellow senators, making him the 10th Senate President. Very interesting, because towards the very close to the elections, it didn't look as though things were going to go his way anymore. But then here we are, we have new president of the Senate as him, Akpabio, and then of course the speaker. Just go over that story. Let's hear what you think.
Big congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Yes, I also know that Akpabio, for me, he still has some integrity issues. For
True.
me,
you are not the only one,
okay.
with that opinion.
Integrity issues. Two ways about that. We cannot avoid that. Okay, but going into politics, you find out that why do I congratulate him? Because he is the second governor to become the Senate president after Bukola Saraki. But he is, please, I stand to be corrected. But he is the first South politician to become a Senate president. I don't think there is any South fellow that has ever sat on that chair. Be it First Republic, Second Republic, Third or Fourth Republic. First Republic, Nnamdi Azikiwe. What do I want to do now? I want to let Igbos know that you've had
your chances.
Have your chance.
I mean, not once, not twice. We can go over the names
down
and
to
then
the first
yes.
republic, down to during the Zik, the time of Zik. Zik was the leader of the Senate, and he was Senate president. Now you now go down to days of Evans and Werem. Now the Igbos mismanaged their own time. That was the reason why, even when they were impeaching them, they were still bringing them back. So you have the likes of Adolphus Nwabara, you have Evans and Werem, you have
Okadigo.
the great Okadigo with his issues. With his issues. Okay, then down the line, we then had what's his name from Benue State? Now Benue State.
Which of them?
The Benue State, David Mark.
Oh, David.
Yeah,
he was there for a long time.
Longest serving.
David,
Actually, longest serving.
He did well, though. He did well.
But I think he was a rubber stamp. Forget this rubber stamp company.
Has been there.
Just start to, it has been there. Okay. Then when I had Bukola Saraki, when I had Ahmad Lawan, then so for Juice Okado, please. Take a chill pill. It has happened and it has happened. Yes, your people are also saying that you sold them out. Then why do you also want to become a Senate president? Okay, when your people were already around for P2B to come out, you were dissecting and killing off. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to use killing, but dissecting their votes using their numbers. Okay, now you want us to support you. Well, he should not see it as he's being shamed. Okay. It is politics, and he has also come out to congratulate the entire principal officers and to give them his support. But let's also look at from the numbers what happened yesterday. We find out that before the election, Yari was nominated, but the camp of Akpabio, they were against him. They were like, he's not qualified to be nominated. He's just talking about. They just had so much rowdy session at that time. But yes, I appreciate the work of the clerk. The clerk held his stance and called for an election. Now, from the election, for the fact that out of the 109, Akpabio scored 63. Yes, he needed about 56. But you see that the number was also close. Yes, and I also give them their kudos. Yes, they used the secret open ballot system, which you will not know who voted for who. Unlike that federal house that left for me, they should just bundle all of them for Nigeria to save some money. They should just go back home. They should rewrite the constitution and just please bundle them. Nigeria needs all those money. Even if you channel all that money that these guys are getting there, just put it into health. We'll see what the impact of that money. Okay, I'll come back to them if you give me that time. So for the Senate, for the fact that Akpabio scored 63 and Yari scored 46, a difference of about 17, just 17, even with the APC backing Akpabio and the president anointing him. He could not even get a wide margin. That's to tell you that the Yari and his team, if they don't, yes, they have come out to embrace and congratulate Akpabio. But if they go on with some grudges, it might be a very difficult house for the entire for the two factions. Okay, that might create a faction in the house. Okay, so kudos to Akpabio. Now the issue is, we don't want a house that will be rubber stamp. Governance should be about bringing idea and opposing ideas. Okay, we don't want a situation whereby it will just be okay, the eyes have it, the president have it, and all that. Okay, we want a situation whereby there should be robust argument, robust analysis into issues that concern. They should take Nigeria as their number one priority and not themselves, because right now, yes, the election has been done. They've inaugurated them. They are officially senators, okay, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But I bet you some of them, their mind right now is that their cases are in court.
True.
Let me collect the money I can collect right now. Let me collect contracts that I can collect right now, so that when I go, I will be holding on. Some persons out there, their own is just to recover the loans they have taken. Are you getting that? Not considering that you have told your people that you are going to serve them. So please, our senators out there, we just need you to do the needful. You are there to serve Nigeria. This is not it shouldn't be a money making avenue for you. If it's a money making avenue, if you are really like Goodluck Jonathan said the other time after the election, if you think politics is for business, it's not for business. If you want to make money, go and do business.
Yes.
Leave politics for people that want to serve. So please, I urge them out there, let them do the work. Let them do their work. Then lastly, for the Federal House of Representatives, for me, what they did there was just total show of shame. Why didn't you allow people to do their secret ballot, use their secret ballot system? You did not give them the opportunity. The Senate really showed that they are the upper chamber.
Yeah.
Okay, for the Green House, I'm sorry, they did not show professionality. Reason why they were just calling out people, and even the clerk even mentioned it that you are being recorded. So what is he telling them?
That sounded like a subtle
that
threat.
You have an evidence that if you vote against the party's choice, you might not have it nice. So what everybody were just calling Abbas, PhD, Dr. Abbas. Somebody even mentioned my heart is for Wase, but my vote goes for Abbas.
So they didn't give them the fair room to do what they really would have done as interest. But then, no problem. Finally, we have Abbas as the winner. And like you were saying rightly, they should all focus on the actual job. They should do their job. We don't want a 4-year term of a rubber stamped kind of house of Senate and representative. We want, both houses to really uphold the trust and the expectations of Nigerians on them, and that's what we are hoping to see within the next 4 years. Akpabio really fought hard to get to the Senate presidency. We remember how he has, traveled almost around the southeastern states, lobbying for him to get there, and today he's there. So we expect for him to take full charge of that position, and let's have governance at its best. And that's what Tinubu has been doing in the last 2 weeks, and we expect to see that also from the Senate. All right, we're going to move away from that story to our last paper for today, but that will be right after a short break. You hang in there. Once we return, we'll take the headlines. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, welcome back from that short break. We're still here taking the newspaper headlines across newspapers around Nigeria on the newspaper review show here on Top TV. My name is William Sabile, and I've been here with Victor. All right, let's go on to our last paper for the day, and that will be Daily Independent newspaper. And on Daily Independent, we have a headline here: Emefiele suspension. NGX jumps to 15-year high, gains 1.215 trillion naira. All right, so pick up a copy and go to page 6 of the Daily Independent newspaper. Obi tenders more 188 exhibits at Presidential Election Tribunal. Details is on page 7 of the Daily Independent. It seems that Peter Obi is not going to give up on this matter.
No.
Oh, more evidences are turning up.
The wife said it, mind you.
Okay, he doesn't ever give up.
No.
All right, we're going to come back to that story, but let's take more headlines. We see as the main headline here on Daily Independent, Akpabio asks senators to put national interest first at all times. outlines focus areas, calls for unity of vision with Tinubu. Abbas promises to lead a house that all will be proud of. Vows he won't be a rubber stamp House of Rep speaker. All right, details you find on page 29 of Daily Independent newspaper. Other headlines here says INEC failures, violence, voter fraud, suppression marred 2023 polls, international observers. And page 7 is where you get details. Right under that, we also see INEC chair to testify for Atiku in petition against Tinubu tomorrow. Page 6 is where you get details of that story. And other headlines here says, it's time to move swiftly with business of governance. Tinubu congratulates Akpabio, Abbas, Barao, Kalu for emerging NAS leaders. All right, so pick up a copy, and on page 7 is where you get details of that story. We also see at the very bottom here, it's at the start, sad one. We read it in the previous newspaper. It says 100 persons die in Kwara boat accident. Page 6 is where you get details of that. It's unfortunate that people still die. You know, you hear that, okay, the road transportation is becoming too rough. Let's do train, and then kidnapping takes place, or train derailment. Then we go to boats. That one has become a very common thing these days. Even down here at the South Bayelsa here, we've heard incidents like this, but this one, the numbers are really high. 100 persons die. I mean, that's very sad. But let's leave that story. Let's go to Peter Obi. Peter Obi is on the news again, and this time around, it's as regards the tribunal. This time he's tendering about 188 exhibits at the Presidential Election Tribunal. A lot is going on, and it looks as though he must get answers, whereas Nigerians are really moving on really quick. What's your take generally on that story?
Okay, mind you, about 3 days ago, I think on Friday, no, not 3 days ago, on Friday, they came to the court with a screen, 2 screens.
Wow.
Okay,
yeah,
to show interviews both for Festus Okoye, that's the, what do you call him again, the spokesperson of
for INEC, publicity man for INEC. Yeah.
Yes, and there was a procedure already spelled out, and who will it be that before a game there was laid down rules, you follow the rules, but the umpire, the referee, refused to follow the rules. So that is the bone of the contention here. Okay, yes, I still have my own reservations. Well, maybe because I'm not part of a part of the inner caucus, but I wonder why they will bring Sokoto matter up. Okay, because he is saying that he wants some more votes in Sokoto, just like we also discussed the other time when he mentioned about 6 states, and some of them were odd to me. So a place like Sokoto is another odd space or place for me rather. Okay.
So why would he bring that to contest?
Yes, but I really don't know the details too. But mind you, could this still be that these are just state permutations from my inside? Could this still be that, mind you, that the Catholic priest Kuka, okay, that his area, could it be that we are talking about that? Mind you that you still have Easterners residing in Sokoto. Maybe these areas are their stronghold and just permutating, okay? But aside that, he has gone further to release, to drop more evidences, about 188 evidences, and majorly, most of them are from the EC40G forms, okay? And there are too many evidences to this. I don't know how the judges will go about this, okay? On the other news too, we should not also forget that Atiku has also invited, in fact, subpoenaed and summoned the INEC chairman to come to the court. These are kind of will I say blockbuster entertainment that we could have been watching. Had it been that
they agreed to air it,
it to be aired. So, but going forward, but in the hearts of Nigerians out there, yes, you still see strong supporters, people that are going all out to say that the court will preside on this matter in a very just manner. But you see some people that have also lost interest. But like we were saying earlier on, Okute, that is P2B, seems like he's not giving up.
He's not going to
His
give
gas
up.
is not running down at all. And when you go back to what happened during the time of himself and Ngige, you find out that, man,
2
this
years,
man,
and he never gave up until he won.
This man might not just live his life.
All right, but then the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already, started making changes, making all the impact that there is to make, and Nigeria seems to be moving on, while the case at the tribunal continues with so much evidences coming from that of Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar. Is the move to summon the INEC chairman is a very bold move, and one that a lot of people will say is a step in the right direction. He ought to come out and answer some questions, because, like you rightly said, the rules were set. Why break them during the main march itself? And that has raised a lot of questions. So yes, the INEC chairman should be on ground to answer why most of those rules were broken. And then they say it was the fairest, contest ever. That Nigeria has never had it this good in the history of elections that has happened in this country. So go ahead and prove to the courts that yes, this is one of that 2023 election was one of the best elections Nigeria has ever had. Tomorrow will be a very interesting day to hear, from the INEC chairman. All right, let's move away from that story. Thank you so much. That's all we'll be taking today. And to our viewers, we want to thank you for watching this program, and hope you have gone ahead to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done so, please do well to do that right now. Click on the subscribe button, turn on your notification, and then connect with us on all our social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, and of course Twitter. Until next time, I come your way again. My name is William Sabule, and this has been the Newspaper Review here on TAP TV.